Good morning. It's April the 4th, 2017. Time to kick off another trading day with our customary disclaimer. Hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have under or overcompensated for the impact of any of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. Okay, yesterday we had very strong buying in treasuries because of the weakness in equities. And we peaked in D and E period because the equities rallied back, but we did not break. So we have really good support at 125 even right here. And we're pointed higher right now. Now the one caveat about this type of rally before the day session opens is that quite often the high or low will be set in the Globex session in the X or Y just right after the opening of the day session. So we have to be careful for that, but we do like the long side of the market first. The news overnight was mixed out of Europe. Some up, some down, but generally speaking showed that slowing in the economy, a little bit of softening. The two Chinese indexes and the FTSE were higher. Japan just got clobbered, and the DAX and CAC were lower, and the E-mini was off 5 points when I looked this morning. It's off more now. So stocks are pointed lower, and because stocks are pointed higher, treasuries, just like yesterday, are pointed higher. I think what's important about yesterday's action was that even though the stock market rallied back from 23.41 to close at 23.56, we had very little in the way of pullback. So the long-term fundamentalists, the people that know economics, are betting that the economy, stock market, economy might slow. So we have to be careful right here. Now we had the breakout at 8. I'd like to buy 1s to 5s and 25s to 29s. On the sell side, 11 to 15 is resistance. Not too interested in that short. 19 to 23, I could probably live with that getting started. Today's news: international trade minus 44.5 B. Factory orders plus 1%. That is not good for treasuries, but we'll see if the E-mini takes that as good news or bad news. And business economic optimism, IBD, TIPP in economic optimism index is at 53.2. So the focus is going to be factory orders and for treasury's direction of the E-mini or equities. Not just the E-mini. We have more rain in the forecast today. Big storm coming out of the Rockies that I think is actually forecast to bring snow to the northeast by the time it gets back there. And it is April, right? But we're supposed to have temperatures today in the low 50s. It was 66, 68 yesterday. So when the wind blows from the north, we're cool. And when it blows from the south, we warm up pretty fast or quickly. Okay, first resistance, we're in it right now, 12 to 16. 19 to 23 would be the first sell. I'm not really interested in the sell side of the market until we figure out what the E-mini is going to do. And you can see that the 10-year is overrunning the 30-year to the upside, and that tells me that the treasury market's a little bit cautious right here. We don't have a whole bunch of X's moving up right there. In the 30-year, the 10 years leading the way up. On the support side, 52, 52.04 is number one. Buy 25s to 29s. And buy 17s to 21s. Okay, weakness in the stock market is blamed on the automobile sector. Auto stocks around the globe sold last night. So people are worried about how many cars are we going to sell next year. And the auto company's guidance is that we're going to be selling fewer cars next year than we did this year. So it all fits. Okay, a little bit of flight to quality last night in gold. Market is trading higher. You can see it started in now here's the Frankfurt split right there. So K&L out of Frankfurt is when the buying in gold started. So we're pointed up. We're above 62. We've got a low volume number at 66, 1266. Then we got high volume at 70. So right now 64, 66, and I'm not, if stock market's selling, we're really not interested in the short side of the market than 69, 71. On the buy side, we'll make it 58 to 60, buy one. And then 55, 57, buy two. So we're trying to buy 55s to 60s, and right now, if we do get a sell, 65 to 70. Okay, looking at the euro, was off a little bit. Again, the economic numbers out of Europe showed softening. And Draghi speaks at 10:30, and he can move the markets. So we came in last night trying to buy 675s. We touched it. Let's buy one. Like the short side better, buy two, 106.50. Draghi can swing the markets. The European Union right now, as far as the central bank is concerned, is exceeding their desired levels of inflation. And economic growth, it's there, but you're talking about plus 1%. It's not, I mean, no one's fallen over themselves to expand factories, expand the economy, etc. They don't have it. I mean, growth in the EU that they brag about is when it goes north of 1%. That's pretty hard to grow an economy with those kind of numbers. In fact, the only one that ever gets much above 1% is Germany's. And the EU is no longer funding German exports to the southern EU members, so pretty much cut off that that market. So Germany has to export to the UK and the rest of the world. Okay, crude did find some buyers last night. It's really holding in there pretty well. The fundamentals say it should be sold. So we had a 50-50 and a quarter buy last night. It was pretty aggressive. They did get stops below 50, and here we are. So 50.75, 51, sell one. 50 and a 1 1/4, 51.50, sell two. We have the API numbers tonight, and market's playing like they're going to be friendlier than they have been. 49.75, 50, buy one. 49 1/4, 49.50, buy two. Yeah, I'd say, Dane, that you guys are getting pretty tired of winter. Going to really make for a great summer. And the sun stays out so much longer the farther north you go. You guys will be stretching your evenings until 10 o'clock, I'm sure. I hope you don't get snow myself. It does get. Oh, Lala, we haven't had snow for 2 years now. Been pretty darn dry. Okay, looking at this tail right over here, that's what Pat Tabbitt and Kevin would call a good bottom, because we've got rejection right here. So that's 40 to 42, say 40 to 43 right here. And I've got my first buy in that area. So our first buy is 40 to 42. Obviously, we got to get through 45 to get there. And again, in Globex, that last little push quite often is the high or the low. Second buy is 35, 37. On the sell side, 49, 51, 54, 56. I like the short side first. If we can't take out that 40 area, can trade from the long side. News, international trade, no one pays attention to it. Minus 44.5. B, factory orders, plus 1%. If it's all aircraft, it'll be discounted. If it spreads through the rest of the economy, they'll like that. They'll look at the percentages. And then IBD, TIPP at 53.2. No one will pay any attention to that. But that number could actually come in higher because it's a sentiment indicator. So the focus, factory orders. Okay, it's going to take a bit to get everything up and posted. I'm going to get busy on that. I will be back with you as soon as possible.